Hey everyone, Screen913 here with Inferno Canuck.
Hello.
And welcome to Book 14 of the Lone Wolf Saga, The Captives of Kag, where we find our lost backpack.
Oh, my heart, it breaks.
This should be a whole book.
It's like in a river somewhere, it's swept up.
Actually, no, it's
person's probably looted it.
It got crushed underneath the portcullis, so it's gone.
Like crushed? I thought
it got crushed by it literally even went into the detail of saying and got crushed underneath the portcullis. So
see, I read you lost your backpack and then just everything else just shut down.
And then everything got blurry from the tears.
Yeah.
Alright. The story so far. You are Grandmaster Lone Wolf, last of the Kai Lords of Summerland and sole survivor of a massacre that wiped out the first order of your elite warrior caste. It is the year MS 5075, and 25 years have passed since your brave kinsmen perished at the hands of the Dark Lords of Helgadad. These champions of evil, who were sent forth by Nar, the King of Darkness, to destroy the fertile world of Magnamon, have themselves since been destroyed. You vowed to avenge the murder of the Kai, and you've kept your pledge, for vengeance cures everything, apparently. For it was you who brought about the downfall when alone you infiltrated their foul domain, the Darklands, and caused the destruction of their leader, Archlord Nyag, and the seat of his power that was the infernal city of Helgadad. In the wake of their destruction, chaos befell the Darkland armies, who, until then, had been poised to conquer all of northern Magnamund. Some factions, which comprised this huge army, most notably the barbaric Dracarum, began to fight with the others for control. This disorder quickly escalated into all-out civil war, which allowed the Freeland armies of Magnamund time in which to recover and launch a counter-offensive. Skillfully, their commanders exploited the chaos and secured a swift and total victory over an enemy far superior in numbers. For 5 years now, peace has reigned in Summerland. Under your direction, the once ruined monastery of the Kai has been thoroughly rebuilt and restored to its former glory, and the task of teaching the Second Order of Kai warriors the skills and proud traditions of your ancestors is also well underway. The new generation of Kai recruits, all of whom were born during the era of the war against the Dark Lords, possesses Lantidic Kai skills, and all show exceptional promise. These skills will be nurtured and honed to perfection during their time at the monastery, so that they may teach and inspire future generations, thereby ensuring the continued security of their homeland in future years. Your attainment of the rank of Kai Grand Master brought with it great rewards. Some, such as the restoration of the Kai and the undying gratitude of your fellow Summerlundine young women, could have been anticipated. Yet there have also been rewards which you could not possibly have foreseen. The discovery that within you lay the potential to develop Kai disciplines beyond those of the Magna Kai, which until now were thought to be the ultimate that a Kai Master could aspire to, was truly a revelation. Your discovery has inspired you to set out upon a new and previously unknown path in search of the wisdom and power that no Kai Lord before you has ever possessed. In the name of your creator, the god Kai, and for the greater glory of Summerlund and the goddess Aesir, you have vowed to reach the very pinnacle of Kai perfection, to attain all of the Grandmaster disciplines and become the first Kai Supreme Master. With diligence and determination, you set about the restoration of the Kai Monastery and organized the training of the Second Order of Recruits. Your efforts were soon rewarded, and within the space of 2 short years, the first raw recruits had graduated to become the cadre of gifted Kai Masters who, in turn, were able to commence the teaching of their skills to subsequent intakes of Kai novices. Readily, the Kai Masters rose to their newfound responsibilities, leaving you free to devote more of your time to the pursuit and perfection of the Grandmaster disciplines. During this period, you also received expert tutelage in the ways of magic from 2 of your most trusted friends and advisors, Guildmaster Baindon, leader of the Brotherhood and the Crystal Star, Brotherhood of the Crystal Star, and Lord Rimura, the Speaker of the High Council of the Elder Magi, whose magic we did not use at all.
Nope, not yet.
In the deepest subterranean level of the monastery, 100 feet below the Tower of the Sun, you ordered the excavation and construction of a special vault. In this, the 7 lore stones of Nexitar, the gems of Kai power that you had recovered during the quest of the Magna Kai, it was here, bathed in the golden light of these radiant gems, that you spent countless hours in pursuit of perfection. Sometimes alone, sometimes in the company of your 2 able advisors, Baindon and Rimora, you worked hard to develop your innate Grandmaster disciplines and grasp the fundamental secrets of left-handed magic and Old Kingdom magic. During this time, you noticed many remarkable changes taking place within your body. Hair started coming in places. You started noticing women. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that one.
Your armpits started to cry stinky tears.
You became physically and mentally stronger. Your 5 primary senses sharpened, all that you had experienced before, and perhaps most remarkably, your body began to age at a much slower rate. Now, for every 5 years that elapsed, you age but 1 year. At this time, many changes were occurring beyond the borders of Summerlund. In the regions to the northeast of Magadar and the Macken Gorge, the Elder Magi of Desi and the Herborns of Buratar were working together in an effort to restore the dusty volcanic wasteland that is to its former fertile state. It was the first tentative step towards the reclamation of the Darklands. However, their progress was painfully slow, and both parties were resigned to the fact that their efforts to undo the damage caused by the Dark Lords would take not years, but centuries to complete. In the far west, the Drakarim had retreated to the homelands and were engaged in a bloody war with the Lincians. Much of the Nyris had been reclaimed by the armies of King Sarnak, the Lincian commander, and his flag now flew over territory which 2,000 years ago had once been a part of Lincia. Following the destruction of the Dark Lords of Helgadad, the Gax, the most prolific in number of all of Nag's troops, fled into the Darklands and sought refuge in the gigantic city fortresses of Nagzad, Anarch, Gurman, and, most importantly, Kag. Within each of these hellish strongholds, fierce fighting broke out as remnants of the Zaghesh? Sure, whatever. Lesser Dark Lords and the Nadzinarim, the evil practitioners of right-handed magic, were once aided individual Dark Lord masters, fought for control. It is widely believed that by the time the Elder Magi and the Herborns reach the walls of these strongholds, the occupants will have long since brought their own extinction. Elsewhere, throughout northern Magnamund, peace reigns victorious, and the peoples of the Free Kingdoms rejoice in the knowledge that the age of the Dark Lords has finally come to an end. Readily, men have exchanged their swords for hoes, and their shields for plows, and now the only marching they do is along the ruts of their freshly furrowed fields. Few are the watchful eyes that scan the distant horizon in fear of what may appear, although there are still those who maintain their vigilance. For the agents of Nar come in many guises, and there are those who wait quietly in the shadows for a chance to do its evil bidding. Only 6 months ago, the evil Sinar Druids of Rule attempted to enact Nar's revenge. Secretly, in the laboratories of their foul stronghold of Morgorath, they had labored to create a virulent plague virus capable of killing every living creature upon Magnamund save their own kind. Word of their terrible plan reached Lord Rimora, who immediately urged the rulers of the Freelands to raise armies and invade Rule. Hurriedly, they complied, but the invasion ended in disaster. 7,000 fighting men entered Rule, intent on storming the fortress of Morgorath and razing it to the ground. 7,000 marched into the Dark Realm. Only 70 emerged alive. The Sinners were within days of perfecting their ultimate weapon when you took up the challenge and ventured alone into Morgorath. Despite overwhelming odds and a very fat rat, you thwarted their evil plan by destroying the virus and the means by which it was created. After emerging from Rural triumphant, your quest fulfilled, you returned home to Summerlund and the Kai Monastery, where you resumed your duties as Grand Master. 3 months later, on the day they saw the first fall of winter snow, you were visited by Lord Rimora. Once again, he found himself the reluctant bearer of ill news. Your friend, Guildmaster Baindon, whilst helping with the reclamation of the wastelands close to the Macken Gorge, had been abducted by a war band of Gax under the command of the Nazirnarim sorcerers. A rescue was attempted, but ruthlessly, those guys obliterated those who tried to follow their escape into the Darklands. Yeah, I gave up in the Magna Kai series.
Okay.
Them guys have grown bold of late, said Lord Rimora, his words tinged with fear and bitterness. They have a newfound power, and they are keen to exercise it. It would have taken considerable skill and energy to ensnare one as gifted as Baindon. But why Baindon, you ask, trying at once to comprehend and come to terms with the loss of your trusted friend? I fear that them guys seek to extract him...
Just call them the Nads, at least.
I like them guys.
Okay.
The Nads. Okay, I'll
The
go with that one.
scrotums.
I fear that the scrotums seek to extract from him the secrets of left-handed magic so that they may be able to marry it to their own foul sorcery. Such an outcome would give them extraordinary power. It could herald the rebirth of the Darklands. At once, would they call it the ambidextrous magic?
I guess so.
At once you recalled how such an attempt to unite the two paths of magic had resulted in catastrophe for Summerlund. Vonatar, the traitor, a magician from the same guild as Baindon, had betrayed his homeland in exchange for the promise of the Scrotum's power. It was his act of treachery that brought about the invasion of Summerlund and the destruction of the First Order of the Kai. What can be done, you asked Lord Remora, fearful that it may already be too late to save your friend. Baindon is still alive, of that I'm sure. The Scrotums have taken him to the old Dark Lord city fortress of Kag. His life is in...
I'm shaking my head, just so you know, I'm shaking my head.
Oh, I know. I want you to think about what you've done. His life is in deadly danger, but they will not kill him until they have succeeded in extracting the knowledge of they crave. We can only pray that he is strong enough to resist them until... Lord Remora held you in his eyes, words no longer necessary. It was clear that all hope for Baindon's survival depended upon his swift rescue from Kag, and there was only one who could effect such a perilous quest with any hope of success. So be it, you say resolutely. I shall send my youngest student. You wanted me to go?
Damn it!
Alright, I accept the mission. I alone will enter Kag and secure his release, or die valiantly in the attempt. Now, I should point out... Probably die. I should point out, because I know you came in book 12, Baindon is actually a really big recurring player in this book. Like, he's been on several adventures for you. And he, I could say, is the only one that's ever come out of them alive.
Yay!
Usually you kill whoever comes with you, so, you know. Woohoo! So we know the game rules. We don't have to go by the game rules.
Thank God.
We are going into the evil fortress of Kag, which is quite a fun... I like this adventure. It's fun. Alright, so it's time to pick our new skill. We got
plenty of magic, so
yes,
at least we're prepared for this one.
We have Maya Magic, we have Alchemy, which is basically just left-hand magic. We have Grand Hunt Mastery, and we have Weapon Mastery. So, let me briefly go over for you guys, the viewer, what skills you can choose from. When voting for our animal control. When voting for our Kai Master discipline.
Subliminal messages.
Alright, actually...
Pick whatever you want that involves animal control or animal control. I'm just kidding.
Actually, I have no idea if that's even going to be helpful.
I have no idea. I just know that always fell by the wayside, and we always needed it.
Okay, we have Grand Weapon Mastery. However... We will, I think we pick a new one every book. Yeah. So we will vote for a new weapon, because right now we have sword and bow. So we'll vote for a new weapon. And then we have Animal Mastery. Grandmasters have considerable control over hostile, non-sentient creatures, although they have the ability to converse with birds and fishes, and use them as guides. The fish told me. Alright, Deliverance. And after the first book, I think you guys will now agree that we don't need the constant curing that we had in the other ones. We got through that one okay, 20 some odd endurance points, but it was still, it added that sense of, oh my god, our hit points are going down.
Yeah.
As opposed to, oh, it's fine, in 5 turns they'll be back up.
True.
So,
although this Deliverance thing can give us, you know, a nice little one-time bonus.
That's what I was going to go for. Deliverance basically is curing, where if you fall under 8 endurance points once per adventurer, or per 20 days. I should point that out because every once in a while the adventure will take more than 20 days, but usually not. Basically, once per adventure, you can instantly cure 20 points. Whilst in combat.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and this one can be done in combat.
Yeah.
So that's
which is handy.
That is handy. So, okay, Assimilance is advanced invisibility. Grandmasters are able to effect striking changes to their physical appearance and maintain these changes over a period of a few days. They have also mastered advanced camouflage techniques that make them virtually undetectable when peeing on their neighbor's lawn. You know, those drunken stupors. Could you imagine the abuse you could do if you were a drunk? You can't see me. We have Hunt Mastery. Grand Pathmanship. Grandmasters are able to resist entrapment by hostile plants and have super awareness of ambush or the threat of ambush in the woods, and dense forests. Alright.
Okay.
Kai Surge. Too much reading, not enough oxygen.
Mm.
When using their psychic ability to attack an enemy, Grandmasters may add 8 points to their combat skill for every round in which Kai Surge is used. Grandmasters need only deduct 1 endurance point when using the weaker psychic attack Mind Blast, and they may add 4 points without loss of endurance points for the Kai Surge, Mind Blast, etc., etc. But you can't use them at the same time.
Gotcha.
Alright, Kai's Screen. In physical combat and psychic combat, Grandmasters are able to construct mind fortresses capable of protecting themselves and others. The strength and capacity of these fortresses increases as the Grandmaster advances in rank. Grand Nexus. Grandmasters are able to withstand contact to harmful elements such as flames and acids for upwards of an hour in duration. The ability increases as Grandmaster advances in rank. Also, I should point out, even though it doesn't for some reason, it's advanced mind over matter. It lets you move things telepathically and stuff like that.
Cool.
Telegnosis, or advanced divination. This discipline enables the Grandmaster to spirit walk for far greater lengths of time and with far fewer ill effects. Duration and the protection of his inanimate body increase as the Grandmaster rises in rank. Alright, and then we have My Magic and Kai Alchemy. So those are the ones for you guys to choose from. Of course, let's go to equipment. Forward. Alright, equipment. Before you leave the monastery and journey westwards to Kag, you can take with you the map of the Darklands and a pouch of gold. To find out how much gold is in the pouch, select a random number table and add 20.
Do we still have the same gold as from before or no?
We do. Yes, we do. So we basically add this to whatever we had before.
Sweet.
So we add 23 to... I'll figure it out what it is later. I don't have that pulled up right now. But I'll add 23 to whatever our gold was.
Sure you will.
Alright, you've successfully completed any of the previous Lone Wolf adventures. You may add the sum to the crowns you possess. See?
Oh, there you go.
But you can only take 50 crowns total. You can take 5 items from the list below, again adding them if necessary to any you already possessed from the previous adventure.
Got you.
So, we have a sword. We have a really cool bow, the silver bow of Duergar, so we don't need that.
Yeah. The folks are going to vote on what we're going to take, right?
Right. You can take 5 of any of these items, and I'm actually going to put this up there to vote because we need items again.
Here's a quick question, Squee.
Yes.
Just before I forget. Okay, so you can only take 2 weapons, like from this list, I assume, right?
Right.
Now you can carry as many weapons as you want, though, right?
No, you can only carry 2 weapons that are not considered special item weapons.
Okay, special item weapons like the Summer Sword.
The Summer Sword, the Dagger of Vashna.
Whatever.
Right, those are all
so here's
special.
a question. If I, since I don't see any bonuses or anything like that for like a basic D&D game, why would you even bother take an axe instead of a sword or a broadsword instead of a dagger? Don't they all kind of do the same amount of damage in combat, or are there certain things that are weak to certain?
No, the only advantage or disadvantage. Now, every once in a while there'll be something like if you have an axe you get a plus or whatever, but that's very, very rare. Mostly what it is you're just kind of betting on which one are you going to find more of in this adventure. In other words, let's say I lose all my weapons, okay? Well, now what weapons am I skilled in and what weapons am I going to come across?
Okay.
That's basically it.
Makes sense.
And the more you're skilled at, the more chances you'll find a weapon you're skilled at. So I am going to make a quiver, one of the ones we have to choose to bring with us, because it's not like in the whole months between the adventures I carried a quiver around the whole time. So if you guys want to bring a quiver, that'll be one of the 5. We have a sword, we have a bow. The bow doesn't count as a weapon, so we can bring an extra weapon if you guys want, because the bow is a special item.
And we already have one anyway, so...
Well, I'm saying our particular bow. Most of the time, bows count as weapons, but since ours is a silver bow, it's considered a special item.
Oh, awesome.
So we have a quiver, axe, 4 meals, a rope, a potion of Lamsford to cure 4 points, a spear, a dagger. That's it.
There you go.
Actually, wait. Do we even need to count on that? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. There's no reason to vote. Because you can carry 5 items and quiver, meals, rope, potion of Lamsford, and then, let's say, an extra weapon.
Yeah.
So, never mind, guys. We're not going to vote. I wish they gave... honestly, I kind of wish they restricted you... You know, maybe we should say this, Inferno, to give us, because I honestly think they make you let you take too much.
Really? Because you can lose it all in one page.
That's true. I'll leave it up to you.
Like all the other shit that we just had.
I'll leave it up to you. Do we want to make it a little more challenging, give them something to vote for, and maybe say we can only take 3 items? Or do you want to just leave it at the 5?
Well, I don't know how challenging these books are. So far, we've made it out of relatively well. Yeah, sure. Just select 3 then.
All right. So, including the quiver, if you guys want to choose a quiver, 3 of these items. So it'll be quiver, axe, meals, rope, potion of lamb's fur, spear, dagger, and choose any 3. I don't think that's too bad of a handicap, and it gives them something to vote on.
Yep.
Okay, one more thing we got to cover, which is advanced skills. So things that we have gotten better at since the last book. Animal Mastery. Kai Grand Guardians with this discipline are able to summon a limited number of forest animals to their location. The creatures so summoned will become loyal and willing allies, willing to do the Grand Kai Guardians' bidding. And this ability can only be used in an outdoor setting. Now, I would point out we're going to a fortress city of Kag.
Wait, hold up a second. Will this be able to be like in the book, like if you have animal mastery, this will happen? Because how can you just...
No, it asks if you have animal mastery and have achieved this rank, then turn to this page. And then sometimes it'll say if you have animal mastery but haven't achieved this rank or whatnot. So no, yeah, it actually does come into play. If you've achieved the rank of Kai Grand Guardian, it'll ask, have you achieved this rank? Okay,
all right. Last quick question. We don't automatically have these. We have to select one.
No. All the skills that you possess are automatically upgraded. So, for example...
Oh, these are all upgraded. Okay.
Right. So basically, since we have Grand Hunt Mastery, we automatically get this improvement.
Okay, that's what I thought.
If they choose Animal Mastery, or let's say they choose a Semblance this time, we'll get a Semblance plus the advantage.
Oh, okay. Duh. All right, makes sense.
All right. A Semblance. The Grand Kai Guardians who possess this skill are able to create a cloud of fog-like vapor within 15 yards of their location. This fog will obscure both normal and infravision. Wow. The duration of the fog increases as the Grandmaster rises in rank. Alright?
Nice.
Grand Hunt Mastery. Kai Grand Guardians with this skill enjoy increased mobility while traveling across all types of terrain, whether on foot or on horseback. This improved ability is very useful when used to outdistance a pursuing enemy, so we'll get that automatically.
Okay.
Kai Surge. Kai Grand Guardians who possess mastery of this discipline are able to attack up to 3 enemies in psychic combat simultaneously. Alright. Kai Screen. Kai Grand Guardians that possess this discipline are able to exercise a defensive psychic skill known as Mind Blend. This cloaking ability enables them to both protect and hide their minds from being detected by hostile psychic probe.
Hey, so this is actually what Magic does.
Right. Well, this basically, whenever we get an improved Magic or alchemy, it adds spells to our repertoire.
Nice.
Is what that does. So basically,
so we've had this added to our repertoire for our Magic.
Exactly.
Splinter and Flame Shaft.
Splinter.
Nice.
This causes breakable items such as bottles, jugs, mirrors, windows, etc. to shatter to pieces. The range of the spell increases as it rises in rank. And Flame Shaft.
Flame Shaft was my nickname in high school.
I was going to say, with a name like Inferno and your sense of humor.
Yep.
This causes the tip of any arrow or arrow-like missile to burn fiercely with a magical flame, which cannot be readily extinguished by normal means. Alright, so keep that in mind when choosing our new skill. And keep in mind also that this stuff carries over into another book. So in other words, just because we didn't use Flame Shaft in this book, doesn't mean we won't end up using it in book 17 or something.
Will that keep track? Will the books keep track of all this?
They're very good at that. You'll in book 19, they'll ask if we have this skill and have achieved the rank of this rank, Guardian. So yeah, that's very good about keeping track of past stuff. All right, so that's it, guys. Get there, get to voting, and then we shall travel to the fortress city of Kag.
Kag.
All right, bye, everyone.